following podcast is a Honey Media production. Hello and welcome back to Motherhood Interrupted. I'm your host, Kimberly Lovey. You guys, I'm going to hit you with some inspiration today because we are facing a new year. So let's dive in and talk about new year, new you, baby. Okay. I think what's kind of put me off on this track is I'm turning 40 in 2024. Oh my God, that's crazy to even say. And let me just tell you, it just feels like shit's getting real. Pardon my French. I hope you don't have kids in the car with you. Yeah, it's sobering. It's one of those points of self-reflection, and I have about 6 months until that happens. So it's really it's contextualized my life. I'm jokingly telling all my friends that this is my year of my midlife crisis. So with that, I am really just in a season of reflecting, and not just reflecting passively. It's like reflecting, goal setting, and taking massive, crazy action. So I'm kind of sitting around saying, I need to share this with you guys and not hold it, keep it to myself. And the reason why I think that's important is because I really believe that each one of you needs to push yourself this year to really rise and step into who you are meant to be and who you want to be. I think part of my personal success in the last couple of years came from breakthroughs I had over COVID. And it was really me trying on different goals and different identities and different scary, just things that seemed crazy, and really breaking through some self-limiting beliefs that I realize I have and that I put on myself. And I know we all do this. We all have ideas of what we can and can't do. And I think part of, if you're feeling like you're stuck and you don't know really how to start, like beyond just doing like a trite New Year's Eve goals, I want you to not be afraid to just kind of play with different ideas of who you want to be and what you want to be doing. So for example, you might be sitting here thinking, oh, maybe I want to run a marathon this year. Or maybe I want to change my career. Maybe I want to get a personal trainer, trying on all different things. Maybe I want to start doing art. Whatever the thing is, I think just this playfulness, the imagination of who you could be is so important. And I think as we are adults, we really start to lose that because we are just really leading our lives for short-term, I don't want to say survival, but kind of. We get stuck in this day-to-day pattern, and we don't spend enough thinking time, dreaming time. So how on earth are you going to carve out that dreaming time for yourself? Some people, they wake up, they have coffee, they journal. I'm not really a big journaler. Is that a thing? Journaler? It's just not really my thing, but I will, through my own methods, I kind of have that quiet time to myself in the morning as I'm waking up. And as I get inspired, whether it's, sometimes I'll be working out, sometimes I'm just chilling and enjoying some coffee or whatever, I do try and pause and put on my dreaming hat. And I do take notes of it. So putting notes in your phone is really helpful. But more than anything, I think we're too big on judging ourselves. We judge our own selves and we immediately cut ourselves off, or we get interrupted. Like sometimes I'll be in like this deep state of dreaming. I think some people call it meditation. That word doesn't fully resonate with me. I don't know why. I think it feels very like yogi-ish, and I'm not really a yogi type person. But nonetheless, I'm encouraging you to carve out some time to dream and try on different identities. And the reason why you're able to imagine different identities is because you have the ability to achieve it. That saying, if you can dream it, you can do it. That's what I really think. If you're capable of dreaming something up, you're capable of doing it. And I think we also get stuck thinking about the execution of it. And so focusing less on the how and focusing more on the what initially. Another great exercise is thinking of whatever your goal might be from the lens of like, if I was already doing this, what would that look like? So, for example, if I wanted to launch a business, what does that look like? And really starting to think about what you need to make that happen, but also cautioning you that sometimes what we think we must have is not always the case. So there can be many different ways to get to the point that you're trying to work towards. And I think if you don't get overly caught up in, I have to do it this way, and being more flexible in your thinking and working backwards from the goal in the sense of, okay, if I was already doing this, I would definitely already be doing ABC. The first step is getting really clear on what you truly want. And as you're starting to really say, oh my gosh, yes, this is something I want. Once you get to that point, I think speaking into it and vocalizing it. Like, I just sat down with my girlfriends that are incredibly successful, incredibly inspiring. And I straight up told them, I was like, you guys, I'm in my midlife crisis year. I'm going into 40, and these are the things that I'm doing this year. And I claim them. And some of them, I'm going to tell you, they're lofty and they're big and they're scary. It's who I want to be when I'm 40. It's the person I want to be. And there's certain things that I am not doing every day yet to bring those things into my world. And there's certain things I've already started. So making sure that you understand that if you want to have an outcome, maybe you're not doing the activities and the tasks that are truly getting you there. So one of the best ways I would say to kind of decode and demystify that is finding somebody that is already achieving the goal that you want or living the life you want, and really spending time with them if you can, which is a gift, and observing them and seeing exactly how they move, because you might be spending 80-90% of your time on the completely wrong tasks. And how do you know what the right tasks are if you haven't observed them? So finding somebody that is, and again, this could be something even leisurely. It could be like, for example, someone that's an amazing golfer. Well, how do they get to be an amazing golfer? What did that journey look like for them? Are they a member of a country club? If that's not feasible, how did they begin without that, right? So overcoming your own roadblocks, like, well, I can't afford that and therefore I can't do it. Well, that's not true. You can go find a public course, right? So, and if you speak to these people, a lot of people, they've kind of taken that entire road and they can tell you, oh yeah, I used to practice, at this course at the driving range. I couldn't afford lessons. So then I went out with my, my friend that taught me, and there's just different ways to achieve a goal. So really getting creative and coming from a place of truly focusing in and honing in on what that looks like for you. What are those ideals that you're truly trying to achieve? And then taking a critical look at the steps that you are not just taking a look, but taking real ownership and accountability for the steps that you're taking. Are the tasks you're doing every day for 80 to 90% of your day, are they moving you in the right direction? And if not, how can you start to fit those different tasks in? So for example, if your friend's an amazing golfer, I just randomly grabbed this example, by the way, or a great tennis player or whatever, let's just say golf, like asking them, how many days a week would you go out and practice? And how do you practice? Who do you practice with? Where do you practice? How much is it to do that? And just being super curious. And I'm telling you, you will be shocked how many people are so open to share their knowledge when you show interest in their success or a hobby of theirs. So I would say it's super important that you reach for those different resources. And maybe it's not somebody in your immediate network. Maybe you have to, work hard to find the right person. Nonetheless, just this idea of taking intentional time out of your daily hustle bustle to really get clear on, I don't know, your top 3 to 5 goals of what and who you want to be this year, and ruthlessly going after them. Once you really admit to yourself what and who you want to be this year, I think you need to put your head down and not look at the person left of you and not look at the person right of you, but truly measure yourself on who you have been to this point and who you want to be moving forward. And I think the big thing is it's great to look at other people that are already doing it just so that you can get really tactical and really clear examples as to one way you can take it or one way you can start executing on your dreams. But I also think we have to be super careful not to compare ourselves or just start to compare your beginning to somebody else's middle or end journey. And I think I was listening to David Goggins. By the way, if you guys have not heard him, he's really good. He swears too much in my opinion, but he's really, really inspiring. And you can find him on like Joe Rogan's podcast and things like that. He's ex-Navy SEAL guy, but he just kind of brings it back to the same concept that my dad raised me on, which is like, the game of life is really about you. Like you are on your own path. You have to be willing to face the unknown 100% on your own. And another thing that Ed Milet always says is like, you build confidence by making and keeping promises to yourself. And I think putting in the hard work and putting in the actual time to execute on your goals is what's going to help you build momentum and build real confidence in yourself that no one else can do for you. Okay, so here's another thing that I'm doing. So I started to build momentum with myself by finding a running buddy because one of my goals is to be in amazing shape as I'm turning 40. And I just, after being in like the whole mom game for the last 8 years, I just had baby London, nearly 2 years ago. I'm in horrible, horrible shape and I just don't feel my best. So I just decided to carve out 20 to 25 minutes every morning. It's dark outside in the morning. So kind of the big objection there is like, well, it's not safe to run in the dark, right? So that's like the big excuse. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to ask my neighbor. So I asked Abby to join me and she was totally down, thankfully. And I was like from 6:30 to 7. I got really specific. We're going to do it from this time to this time, 4 to 5 days a week. No excuses, really short and sweet, but like our runs are uphill. So they're rigorous enough where it's worth it. But like just really setting a very clear intention and just getting after it. And then the other thing was like, well, maybe it's time for me to like strength train. And I'm like trying to think of different ways. And I was kicking around all different ideas. And I think I'm landing on getting like a private trainer, which I've never done, a personal trainer. And I'm going to have Abby join me so that it's affordable, right? Or more affordable. And so I just think getting really specific, not just like, oh, I want to start working out. And like, I'll try this workout or that one if I have time. Like that is not a goal. That is not a specific, achievable method for you to act on. I think really once you've defined your goals through that dreaming and really finding something that feels like, yes, this is something I definitely know I need to be doing. I think once you really take that time and find what those, like I said, your top 3 to 5 goals are kind of across all different parts of your life, I think the next thing is breaking down tactically, like to the most micro level. What is the immediate next step? Again, you don't need to see steps A through Z. You need the first or second step. So, okay, I think I need strength training. Okay, I think I need personal training because of, whatever my specific needs are need to be more closely looked at rather than a group class. Okay, so now I'm looking at a private class. Great. So that's the first decision. The next thing is, well, where could I do that? Well, where's a place near me? Oh, that's a place right by my work. Great, that could work. Let me call them. So just these I'm telling you, no step is too small when you're starting to redefine the landscape of who you are and where you're going. And I'm just encouraging you not to be afraid to really dream, try on different things, play with it, have fun with it. And then once you're like, no, this is really important to me. Like this is something I definitely want to get after this year. And I really want to start doing this one thing or two or three things. Take each of those things and start getting really just, okay, I've decided I want to do this. What is one step I can take today? And then every single day, you need to be moving closer and closer towards your goals. If you're not, you're staying still and you're staying stuck and you're keeping yourself small. I mean, I think the other big thing is, yes, the small steps count, but also the size of the goal counts. If you're dreaming too small, your results are not going to be transformative. You need to dream big. And I'm going to just say this. The world's in a crazy state, as we know, okay? I feel like it's crazier than ever on a lot of fronts. And I will just say this. The world, if nobody has told you this, I'm going to say it to you. The world needs you to be your absolute highest and best. The world needs you to step out of your fear, and the world needs you to be a leader. The world needs you to use your voice. The world needs you to work hard and solve problems. The world needs you to feel and be your absolute best. And that starts with building confidence within yourself. It starts with setting goals for you reaching your highest and biggest best self. And it starts with you dreaming big and not being afraid to step into your power of who you truly are and who you're meant to be. You are not meant to be a punching bag. You are not meant to be a sheep. You are not meant to be average. You have a certain skill that only you have. And maybe that's compassion. Maybe it's you're a brilliant finance person. Maybe you are excellent with children. Maybe you're excellent with helping the elderly in a specific way. I mean, whatever your gift is that only you truly possess, the world needs you to use it. And I think we stay so stuck in our fear. What are people going to think? I'm not totally comfortable. Well, let me tell you a secret. The more you do something that feels uncomfortable initially, I promise you, you keep doing more of it and you will feel so much more confident and comfortable. So if you're not comfortable speaking up in meetings at work, or you're not comfortable networking or volunteering for something, and you just push yourself to just do that one thing this year, I guarantee the next time the chance comes around and you do it again, you're going to do it with just a little bit more confidence this time. And I'm telling you now, that's the version of you we need. The world needs you to be your best because we're hurting collectively. So I hope this is inspiring for you guys. It's short, it's sweet, it's a solo. I am going to get around to telling you what happened in Aspen because my God, I already told you the bad, but it ended up being a whole other trip after we got our luggage. And I do need to share that with you guys, but I actually need to go run and help my husband with the kids. And this was something on my mind and my heart as we're going into the new year. The world needs you and wants you to be your absolute best. There is enough for everybody. Like I said, I sat around a table a couple hours ago with my girlfriends that are all just thriving in so many ways. And I just looked at them and I was like, I am so happy to see everyone just relishing in their hard work and their success. And it was this feeling of like, there's no jealousy at this table. It's this feeling of like, we're all celebrating each other's success as other females and moms. And it was like, we all know that there's enough to go around. It's very apparent. The world is an abundant place. There is abundance. There is money out there for you. There is happiness. There is success. There is love. It's all there for you. You just need to put yourself in a headspace where you're prepared to receive it and to be open to it, whatever it is that you're seeking on such a deeper level. And I encourage you to bring that forward and tease it out of yourself. Don't suppress it. Nurture your dreams and don't be afraid of your dreams. They should feel scary and crazy. And only then do you know that you've made dreams that are worth truly going after. So with that, I love you guys. Thank you. I hope this was inspiring to you guys. And I hope you all have a very healthy, safe, fun New Year's. We're staying in with some friends and family. Nothing too crazy over here. And I'm looking forward to waking up not being hungover with my kids. And yeah, I wish you guys a beautiful, beautiful year. I appreciate everyone that listens. We've reached the top 5% of podcasts globally, which I'm super proud of. I have no idea how that's happened, but I just want to let you know I love each of you. I appreciate our conversations, and thank you again for listening, and have a beautiful, beautiful new year. See you guys in 2024. All right, that is it for today. Now, as you know, some of our best conversations actually happen after the show. So I want you to find me on Instagram at Kimberly Lovey and let me know your thoughts about today's show. You can screenshot this episode and let us know what your biggest takeaway was and tag me at Kimberly Lovey and we can share it on our stories. I will see you again, same time, same place next week.